As you know, the waters of the Bahamas just can't compare. The view from the boat and from the beach is amazing. But before we get to our ultimate destination, we've still got some voyage ahead of us. Welcome to Stir Crazy Sailing and Adventures. I'm Dennis. I left a career I enjoyed to pursue the activities that I love, with the aim of single-handing a sailboat from Lake Michigan to the Caribbean.
You are welcome here on the crew.
I expect some success and some failure along the way, but that's part of the adventure. I'll also share with you how I try to stay healthy and fit as I go. Having you along will make this trip even more fun. Thanks for joining me.
I'm really exposed here, but there is no expectation of bad weather or high winds. So it's going to be really weird to just drop anchor where all I can see is horizon all the way around.
Hi, we are in the middle of Nowheresville in the Bahamas. We have a couple of items on our docket today. One is navigation. The magenta lines on the chart show where there are regular passage routes that boats make that are generally safe. There are also lots of caveats that the authors of my chart book, as well as my chart plotter developers, convey, and that is, don't depend on your electronics completely. We can't map every coral reef. There could be other hazards out there, rocks and so forth, but generally, these are the safer routes. I'm not on one of those right now. If there were really good visibility, then I could just sort of make my way through what I think is deeper water onto one of the more well-traveled routes. But we've got lousy weather this morning. Overcast and rainy, but it'll go at about half speed, I think, while I'm hindered by geography, technology, and meteorology. I'll make my way from here south of Great Sail Key over to the Green Turtle Key area, and then one quick trip out into the ocean through a narrow cut, hopefully at high tide. That's another story, and then down to Marsh Harbour. This body of water here up on the Bahamas plateau is just sandy and beautiful. It looks great. Thanks for joining me. We're gonna get the anchor up, get cruising. We are just south of Propeller Bank, and I'm sure they don't call it that because there's an airport facility there. And I don't want to make a deposit. That's just dumb. We have blue sky. Shouldn't do this without tethering in. And we've got some deep water along our route. It's 10 a.m. We started at 8, did some slow motoring for a bit, and got ourselves onto a more well-known path. And woo, I'm seeing what the Bahamas are famous for. Bahamas are famous for, Bahamas is famous for. I'll work on it. The visibility is such that I still wouldn't be able to see coral if it were right ahead of me. I'm so grateful for my navigation equipment. My electronics are working great. Ray Marine, thank you very much. NavTech, thank you very much. Not using Navionics today. The route that it plotted for me took me in a direction that I wasn't comfortable with, so I'm going north of that route. And that's why I had to sort of create my own route earlier today and get up to a better known path. But geez, the water is just beautiful. Looks like fresh water.
No signs of wildlife so far. In the marina in West End, I saw bull sharks. And then while I was sailing over from Lauderdale to the Bahamas, I thought I heard a whale exhale twice. Could have been anything. Could have been indigestion. I'm not sure. But we'll see what sort of wildlife we get to see over here. And it's nice to be out here. It's just you, me, and the sea. I'm not going to be able to make Marsh Harbour tonight. Looks like Green Turtle Key is the destination, and that puts me in the neighborhood. I have to get out of, what is it, Whale Key Passage. Whale Key Passage, high tide, before weather comes, going back out into the ocean for a bit, and then coming around some keys and into a big bay that will get me toward Marsh Harbour. It's a few hours of sailing, a little bit dicey. We'll just see how it all works out. Hopefully I don't encounter any delays. We have to love that sandy bottom, don't we? Yes. Last time I had a sandy bottom, I was at the beach. In the Sea of Abaco, Green Turtle Key, and maybe Whale Key Cut Passage. That's what we're working on. I feel like pushing it to get through there because the weather's going to be better today than tomorrow or the next day.
Pushing it would have me coming in off the ocean into the Sea of Abaco in the dark.
Cruising along at 20 feet of water. We like that. The low islands look like anywhere. Reminds me of Lake Superior. Okay, sports fans, up on the horizon, we have here at dusk a lot of water, an island to the left, an island to the right, coral beneath, but somewhere in there, according to my instruments, there's a 100-meter wide channel that's 20 feet deep for me to get through. I have faith in my instruments, which is a good thing. Getting through this channel now is likely to be easier than tomorrow when the wind and weather change. We've got the waves pushing us down, quartering sea. It's going to want to push us into this coral over here, so I want to get closer to the coral to our left. Not a lot for frames of reference. I love my navigation equipment. Thankfully it loves me too, but we're not quite through this yet. We've got to get around this key over here. But that was the high anxiety milestone of the day. Thanks for joining me. I am sure I've used up all the good luck I have, and I'm going to anchor instead of trying to make my way into the marina in the dark.
Pushing to make sure that I made it through Whale Cut Passage in the best weather in the next couple of days put me at risk of being out on the sea as it got dark. I was overly optimistic, and it got darker faster than I ever expected. Making my way into a channel and across the Sea of Abaco, I put myself at risk of hitting anything from fishing nets to crab pots to sunken galleons. I got lucky. I just boiled water for my morning coffee and poured the hot water in my daily cup, poured in the cream, and put a tea bag in my coffee mug. Never have I ever done that before in my life. Normally I have a chai tea later in the day. That does taste good, but it doesn't do me much good first thing in the morning. I need that caffeine kick. Oh man. So I was exhausted when I came in last night. It's 8 o'clock in the morning now. I was up a couple times during the night, checked the anchor. Things are good. This is where we are. Yes, a whole bunch of horizon. Whew. But the wind is mostly from the north-northwest. We're on the other side of the key. I think that's Iguana Key over there. Seriously, I think that's what it is, Iguana Key. And I wanted to put up the drone, but it's just too windy for me to make a landing without being sure Buzz doesn't end up in the drink. The breeze is also good because I'm in the same underwear for the third day, but it's okay. I'm a sailor, and I'm on my way in, and the first thing I'll do is take a shower, man. Anyway, I'm so happy to be here, and I'm happy that you're here with me. The surface is disrupted so much. I'm not sure that I could show you what is around me under the water, but when I came in last night and I shone the light down there, it's beautiful. It's just very clear, clean water, and just gorgeous. Going to get things started here in a moment, make our way across this bay over to the village of Marsh Harbour, and slip into a marina and get settled. That was always my plan, arrive in a marina here. I want to arrive in the middle of, an island nation and need something. This season has been uncharacteristically windy. I traveled a long distance, and I thought that if my boat needed something, resolving the issue could be difficult from an anchorage. So I opted to go into a marina and have the biggest safety net possible upon my arrival. I mean, I've gone thousands of miles, and so the idea is to go in there, get settled, do some exploration from there, and figure it out. My inability to get drone shots upon arrival would have made you a bit disappointed, I thought. So I rigged the camera to go up my spinnaker halyard, and I got some decent shots of the boat going across the Sea of Abaco. Marsh Harbour is a working harbor. There are freighters and mail boats and ferry boats that are pretty busy. And I had my hands full getting into the windy harbor and getting into Harborview Marina. I was grateful for a hand from Will, and some of my neighbors thought that I looked like a teenager trying to parallel park a semi. But I made it into the marina, had a chance to relax, and start soaking up all the beauty around me, including that wonderful blue water. I know, but after all, this is the Bahamas, and thank you for joining me. Thumbs up if you like the video, subscribe, and forward to your friends. We're going to be here a while. See you soon.